everyone, and welcome to the 30th episode in our AI and You podcast series. Today is Thursday, December 31st, 2020, and I'm your host, Vicar Saidi. I'm a computer scientist and engineer, a lecturer, and a consultant. I'm also the author of several books. My most recent book is about artificial intelligence and is titled The Genome Affair. The Genome Affair is a speculative work. It examines what the world might be like if some of the more extraordinary capabilities forecast to be realized in AI over the next 20 to 30 years were actually realized today. Given the growing list of frightening existential threats humankind now faces, the book pays particular attention to the impact AI is expected to have on world affairs. The book is available in ebook format for those who prefer to read on a digital device, but it's also available in a high-quality paperback edition. The Genome Affair is available on Amazon, so I hope you'll take the time to read it and to leave a review. Amazon book reviews are very helpful for writers. I'm very interested in how science and technology influence world affairs and the big questions facing humankind. Studying at the confluence of the great disciplines of human history, political science and thought, international affairs, science and technology offers a deep understanding and pedagogically important lessons of how advances in human endeavor have influenced and impacted civilization. I'm available to give talks on artificial intelligence and its related technologies and on the impact AI is expected to have or is already having on our world. If you'd like to get in touch with me to arrange a web-based event or consulting meeting with your company or organization, you can find my contact info in the podcast notes below. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with others if you find the content valuable. Thank you. And now, on to today's podcast. In our last podcast, episode 29, I spoke about the benefits and dangers of artificial intelligence and facial recognition technology. In today's podcast, episode 30, I'll talk about the most destructive application of artificial intelligence we've seen in the last decade. Let's get started. Over the past 10 years, artificial intelligence has had a profound impact on society. It has made its presence felt in virtually every industry and area of human endeavor, while the number of AI use cases continues to grow with each passing month. With AI agents such as GPT-3 natural language processing from OpenAI in San Francisco to AlphaFold in structural biology from DeepMind in London, the groundbreaking contributions of AI are seemingly endless. And although these applications of AI are profoundly positive, we can't help but fear how this incredibly powerful Fourth Industrial Revolution technology might negatively impact our lives. One such worrisome impact of AI has to do with the very notion of truth in society. There are three distinct types of people in society today: those with information, those with knowledge, and those with wisdom. Information is now virtually unlimited in its availability. We only need to activate our smartphones, and we have limitless amounts of information at our fingertips. But a common mistake amongst people is the belief that information and knowledge are one and the same. They are, in fact, quite different. To generate or produce knowledge, we must start with information. Then, this information will need to be extensively and laboriously processed by our intellect. We will need to apply logic, reason, and science in an effort to extract meaning and value from the information. We will likely need to triangulate the information as well. Essentially, we must examine the information from the perspective of multiple academic disciplines to determine what can be surmised in the context of what we already know, or in the context of evidence previously collected but not understood. Once we have completed these processes, we will then need to document our conclusions. We will have to begin with a draft, a preliminary version of our thoughts and findings that can be shared with others for their insights and criticisms. This process will probably involve a significant number of iterations, and hence a great deal of time. Eventually, though, we will be able to publish our findings in a respectable journal, and a wider audience of our peers from around the world will then evaluate our work and will likely challenge our findings in subsequent publications of their own. This process goes on, and through this disciplined approach, humankind's overall body of knowledge grows. It is a time-tested process that requires a great deal of discipline, humility, and patience. Invariably, we will make mistakes along the way, and we will be criticized, but this is also a necessary part of the process. But eventually, humankind will benefit as their total body of knowledge and understanding grows. At some point during this process of cultivating new knowledge, some amongst us will take our ideas and experiment with their application in real-world scenarios. Their goal will be to determine whether they can increase positive outcomes or reduce negative outcomes. The ability to apply knowledge to improve outcomes is the attainment of wisdom. So, now we can see that information, knowledge, and wisdom are not at all the same thing. But this concept is not readily understood or accepted by the majority of society. In fact, in our current environment, a person with access to information can use some of it to assemble straw man arguments and conspiracy theories based upon simplistic understanding and arguments. And these arguments and theories can attract hundreds of millions or even billions of listeners and viewers on social media. A prominent recent example was Alex Jones and his InfoWars podcast. Another was the story of the group promoting the QAnon conspiracy theory. Unfortunately, the fact that such arguments and theories have no basis in fact, or that they cannot withstand even the most basic degree of scrutiny, is irrelevant to those that promote them, or to those who find them compelling. They simply believe what they want to believe, and refuse to allow knowledge or truth to stand in their way. This problem has been significantly exacerbated by social media in the last 10 years, and as such has emerged as perhaps the most dangerous and destructive application of artificial intelligence that we've experienced and witnessed thus far. It is leading to a significant weakening of democracies in the developed world, and has strengthened the hand of authoritarians. It has broken relationships between friends and family members that had previously endured decades of tribulation. Once the AI agents that underpin social media platforms such as Facebook and YouTube realized they could keep a user on their platform endlessly engaged by showing them posts and videos that triggered anger or fear. This became their modus operandi. They weren't concerned that the posts and videos they were recommending were false. To them, this was irrelevant. They shirked this responsibility by claiming that they were tech companies and didn't shoulder the burden of any sort of journalistic integrity or societal responsibility. They didn't want this responsibility because it conflicted with their economic goal, which was to maximize the time a user spent on their platform. The longer a user spent on their platform, the more opportunity Facebook and YouTube had to learn about and collect data on that user, and also to show them more ads. This is how the social media platforms monetize their product to such an extraordinary degree. In fact, this process of predictive analytics applied to the digital exhaust left behind by users traversing the internet has resulted in the most lucrative business model in the history of human commerce. Although these platforms are having a detrimental effect on society and doing untold damage to democracy, which depends on society knowing the truth, very little has been done by regulators to address this platform. The European Union is slowly and gradually intervening, and in many ways providing crucial leadership for the developed world on issues of user privacy and protection. But the financial contributions of these tech giants to the campaigns of politicians in the United States has, thus far, served their interests well. They continue to grow in power and wealth and avoid regulation. But we have now reached a point in the development of artificial intelligence that a carefully orchestrated approach to regulation has become profoundly urgent. So we must hope that 2021 will bear witness to this recognition by the European Union and the United States. AI-enabled social media has shown itself to be the single most destructive application of artificial intelligence in the world today. And this power must be reined in before things go much further. The future of democracy may well rest in our ability to curtail it. Thank you for spending some time with me. I'm trying to follow the TED Talk format, and so I'm keeping these podcasts under 20 minutes. Let me know what you think. I hope you'll find these insights into artificial intelligence helpful, and I hope you'll read my new book, The Genome Affair. It's on Amazon. Until next time then, this has been the AI and You podcast with author Vicar Saidi.